Okay, so I wanted to do like a little bit of a life update. Like, no one watches my YouTube, but I thought I would just do it because, why not have a little 14-year-old Lauren's dream of becoming a YouTuber still alive? When I was 14, I made a very embarrassing video of me showing off my favorite makeup products, and I've showed my friends since then, and they've all laughed at me so hard for it. So I thought, since my skills have obviously gotten a little bit better, I was going to make another video. And then also recently I got my nose pierced, so I thought I would also like share my experience with that. Okay, so I'm just like going to delve into like what I do on a daily basis with my makeup because I actually for some reason I get asked that question a lot, which is kind of shocking to me since I kind of suck at it, but also I guess I don't. So when I do my foundation, I've done a lot of different foundations. I've done Clinique and I've done like Too Faced and blah 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 blah. So now I'm currently using the Sephora brand one. I don't like it that much. I think it's okay, but I was given a $25 gift card for Christmas from my aunt for Sephora, and I was out of foundation at the time, so I just found like the cheapest foundation I could find and just so I could call it a day. But for my concealer, I use the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer. It's pretty good at making your face not look ugly. I really like it because it's full coverage, but it also isn't cakey. I use it a lot underneath the eyes, on my pimples, and just all around my face. If I could do it all over my body, I probably would, but I don't think I can do that. For the setting powder, I use the Kat Von D setting powder because I'm a sellout and love the high-end makeup brands, and if I could use as much as that on my face, I definitely will do that. For my everyday eyeshadow look, I use the sorry, I didn't like put out my stuff before I did this, which is probably like a bad idea, but whatever. I use the Shadow Insurance Too Faced eyeshadow primer, and this is just a sample, but it's lasted me 2 years, which is kind of amazing actually. Wow. But yeah, this is what I like prime my eyes with before I start. Recently, I got myself the Too Faced Cat Eyes, and I would love this because, okay, first of all, I think that eyeshadow without eyeliner kind of looks stupid for some reason. I don't know, it just looks weird to me. But I can't do winged eyeliner for shit. So, in this palette, you have lots of pretty colors, but then you have the little wet to dry eyeliner. So if you get yourself a little eyeshadow pencil, little eyeliner pencil, you can give yourself cat eyes and not make it look ugly. And that's honestly what I do most days because I really can't do liquid eyeliner. I don't know what it is. I just genuinely can't do that. So I use this palette a lot, but I also use Too Faced's Chocolate Bar palette a lot. I really like how like neutralized the colors are. There's some matte ones, there's some shiny ones. I don't like the Urban Decay Naked palettes for me personally. I know they're really popular, but I don't think that like for example with the Naked Theory palette, it's mostly just pink shades, and I feel like that's not a good like balance. And I love using the color pink on my eyelids, but I feel like you need something else to like neutralize it. Otherwise, it's just like completely light and it's like you're not even wearing eyeshadow or it's just glittery, and it kind of reminds me of like when an 8-year-old goes into Claire's and they're like, oh mom, I want to get this eyeshadow palette, so then they start like covering their eyes in like pink glittery shit and think they're a makeup guru. And I'm not a makeup guru, but I sure do act like one. So yeah, I use these two eyeshadow palettes the most, but I do have a Tarte one and a few other ones I use, but these are like the ones you can typically find me using. For brushes, I'm a cop out and I love Real Technique so much. So pretty much all the brushes I use are Real Technique. Even my beauty blender is, oh, that's disgusting. Is, can't put it back in the bowl. Ugh! Even my beauty blender is Real Technique. That's pretty much all I use. The eyeshadow brushes, I cannot stress this enough. They are so good. I've used so many different eyeshadow brushes. I've used the e.l.f. ones, the Urban Decay ones, the Sephora ones, and the best ones I found are Real Technique, and you can get a set of like all the eyeshadow brushes including the eyeliner brush super like cheap for like I got mine for $7 at Marshall's. So you can find them discounted a lot and they're really good quality. It makes doing the crease on your eyeshadow very easy. And if you're not very good at makeup, I highly, highly recommend getting those brushes because it's like you're not even putting in the effort to do it. For my what's this called? My eyebrows. Also, I think I said, well, yeah, it comes with an eyeliner brush and a eyebrow brush too. Oh, while I'm at it, my mascara I use is Better Than Sex by Too Faced. Again, I'm a cop out for the popular makeup. And for my eyebrow, sorry, for my eyebrow, I fill it in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. I don't like the brow wiz as much. I feel like you don't have as much control with this. And I used to have like brown hair. It's back to blonde. So when I got this recently, probably like about a month ago, and I got it in the color soft brown, which if you can tell, it's actually pretty dark. It's not exactly a soft brown, but if you do it very lightly, you can still get it to the shade of your roots. And that's another thing about this mousse. It's very good. I love the texture of it, but it is very, very pigmented, and it's always a little bit darker than you would expect it to be. So if you're a blonde and you have soft brown and you expect it to match your roots, it probably will be way darker than you would think. So if you do it very, very lightly, it actually helps out a lot. Okay, so for setting spray, I always use setting spray because it always like it soaks it in and it makes you not look cakey. And I feel like I just can't even go out in public with my makeup done if I don't have any setting spray on. So I have two different types. I have the Urban Decay classic one and I have the Dewy Finish by NYX. Okay, so both setting sprays are obviously very good. They're very great. But if I had to pick a favorite, I would honestly pick the NYX one. The reason being is they both last about the same amount of time. They both have different finishes. This one is more of a matte finish, and if you're going to an occasion where you're going to be sweating a lot, I like prom or like on a date, or you're just like going to an amusement park, or you're going somewhere where you're going to be sweating a lot, I definitely would say Urban Decay setting spray over the next one. But if you're just doing a daily look or you're trying to look dewy and kind of highlighted and like have a really pretty glow, I would always go the next one. And honestly, I feel like you could also get away with using the next one on special occasions too, like prom or whatever. I like the NYX one a lot. I get the most compliments when I wear the NYX one. Everyone always says it looks like I highlighted my skin, even on days when I don't do that. Also, I think it's also fair to mention the price. The All Night Setting Spray by Urban Decay is about $21. The NYX one, however, is $6.99. That's quite a difference. So if you're looking to save money but still have an amazing setting spray, please go with the NYX one. It's so good. What else do I use on a daily basis? Oh, I have like a set lip color I pretty much always use, and that is the Too Faced Melted Matte in the shade Queen Bee. I'm a very pale person, and it's very hard for me to find a lip color that actually looks good on me. I can't do reds for some reason, so I typically go with, neutrally colors, and even ones that have like a pink base to it still like stand out in a weird way on my face. So I've found that ones that have like a purple, almost purple undertone usually look the best. So I go with the Melted Matte. I've had this for a really long time though. I've actually had this for like 8 months and it's still pretty full and I use it frequently. I love the Melted Mattes. That's my favorite lipstick brand. Not brand, but it's my favorite lipstick type. The brand is Too Faced and this color is so pretty. And also, not a lot of people like this smell, but I actually think the smell is really good. It smells like kind of vanilla-y. All right, so that was like my daily makeup. I feel like I also didn't really get into why I like the eyeshadow palettes. I'm gonna do that back real quick. I really like the cat eyes because the colors are very neutral and then the crease stands out. And then I also said I like the wet to dry because it makes me feel like I have more control when I'm applying eyeliner. So yeah, I felt like I didn't get into that. Also, fun fact, this eyeshadow palette is on sale right now on the website for like I think $16.99, which is actually a really good price for Too Faced eyeshadows because they are amazing. So I recommend going on there and buying yourself one. Oh, also, I got my nose pierced recently, and I thought I would give like a little update about that. I've wanted my nose pierced since I was 12, so for me, the pain, like I was willing to kind of put myself through it, but it honestly wasn't bad. I don't even have a high pain tolerance, but for me, it was like a pinch. I go in there, and the lady was super quick. I got it done at River City. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of them, but I go in, and I was probably in there for a total of 10 minutes and maybe not even that. You go in, my dad filled out a couple of papers, I signed my signature, and then I got to pick the piercing. They set it up for me, and I went back to a room that was next, like a personal room. And that's another thing. You should always make sure you're getting it done by a professional piercer. And I felt very safe getting it done because I looked to the right and I saw that she was pulling out fresh needles out of a sterilized package. The woman cleaned my nose, which she always should do that. She placed a surgical dot and then told me if I liked it, and I did like the placement of it. And then she like puts it up to my nose. I deep breathed in. I took a deep breath, and by the time I realized it was hurting, it was already over. So if that says anything about how it actually felt, it was not painful. I don't like pain. I don't like pain at all. I have a very low pain tolerance, but even I didn't think it was that bad. She cleaned it up for me. I've had it done for about 3 weeks now. The first week, you should always avoid like putting makeup anywhere near it. Like it was so weird because I would have my whole face done and I would have half of my nose, but then this side, it would have no makeup on it, but it kept keep it clean. I went to CVS after and got a saline solution, and every night before bed and every morning when I woke up, I would take a Q-tip and dab it in and clean like clean the outside and the inside of it very gently. I've had it for 3 weeks and it hasn't caused me any problems. It's gotten one tiny bump on it, but that lasted for about 2 days. Hasn't really been that sore, hasn't really hurt. One thing I do say that did help is I took ibuprofen for the first few days a couple times a day because it's an anti-inflammatory and it keeps it from getting swollen. So if you are having a hard time with the pain or you want to like do preventative medicine, I would recommend ibuprofen. But yeah, it wasn't bad. And in fact, I'm so happy I got it done because I've wanted it for so bad, and the pain really intimidated me, but it's so worth it in the end because what the pain lasts for a second, but having it done can last forever if you take good care of it. So all in all, it was very much so worth it. Okay. This video is very long and I don't think anyone's actually gonna watch it, so I guess I'm gonna go now. But if anyone does, I hope you have a really good day and love you. Bye.